I'm going to call the regular meeting for Bucyrus City Council to order for July 29th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Myers. Here. Dishon.
Here.
Slater.
Here.
Moritz.
Here.
Sherrick appears to be absent. Spiegel.
Here.
Me.
Here.
Okay, first thing on the agenda is appointment of a pro tem clerk for from the council by. So if somebody wants to make a motion, I believe Lisa Stuckman, were you here to be the pro tem clerk for this meeting? You weren't. Okay. I thought that's why you were here.
My name's on some paperwork.
What's that?
My name's on some paperwork that
I'm waiting for a
I'll
motion.
make a motion that we appoint you, Kurt, to be the pro tem.
I can't be the pro tem
Why
clerk
can't you? You're the
because
department-
I'm
you're
running the
department head in
meeting.
that department.
I'm not the clerk.
But you're the department head in that department. It's your job to do it if it is, I was the department
You
head.
know
in
what?
that-
We're gonna let Judge Hall decide that.
Well, it doesn't matter, we have to have one tonight. When I was a department head and somebody was missing, I had to fill the spot while they were gone. That's part of my job.
Okay, Terry, all I've heard for the last year and a half is, Kurt, your only job is to run the meetings. You're not to
You're the
do
department
anything
head of
else.
that department.
And now that there's no clerk, everybody comes crawling to Kurt, oh, we want you to be the clerk, Kurt. We want
Not
you to
that we
be the
want you to be,
clerk.
but you're the one that's supposed to do it.
No, I'm not supposed to do it. It's not what the Ohio Revised Code says.
You got a motion on the floor.
I'll second that motion.
I'm not doing it. I am not calling for the vote.
There's a valid motion on the table.
I'm not doing it, Brandon.
You can't ignore the motion.
I am not going to be the clerk for this meeting.
Mr. President, may I make a suggestion? There's a motion on the floor, take the vote, and then refuse it if the vote passes. That way, procedurally, everything happens.
I'm not doing that.
Just a suggestion.
So you're refusing to do your job?
My job is not to be the clerk,
Your
Brandon.
job is to recognize the motion that has been made and seconded.
It is not a proper motion. I am not being the clerk for this meeting. Vicki was the pro tem clerk. Nobody knows why she resigned.
I think everybody knows why she resigned.
I would like to appeal the decision of the chair that the motion's invalid. State that.
You know what? I'm excusing myself from this meeting. Guess what, Mr. Myers? You are running the meeting.
That took quicker than, well, that was quicker than expected.
All right, so there is a motion on the floor by Mr. Spiegel and a second by Mrs. Slater. Do a roll call vote. Myers, I'm going.
Can there still be discussion about
There's,
it?
I'm sorry, discussion.
I'd like to know what the president is second to where he can't do this job. Is there a section in Robert's rules or whatever?
Do you wish to speak on it or not?
That's a no.
I'm going to take that as a no, that he doesn't want to answer it.
Would you like to ask me? Would you like to ask me?
Oh, there you go, I'll ask you.
No, there's nothing that says that he can't. In fact, the pro tem is supposed to come from the council body. If everybody turns it down, then the next logical step is that you guys can
Can we hold on a second?
appoint whoever you'd like.
I can't hear what he's saying. Did you guys have something to add, or? Yeah.
Oh, I would just add, if you guys don't determine who you would like to have as a council clerk, I would like to appoint my administrative assistant there to,
So you can't make the appointment.
Okay.
However, as I'm explaining, comes from the council body. My understanding is nobody's interested in it, and for procedure's sake, we should go around the room and do that, and then you guys can appoint whoever you want to do it. The statute's very clear. You guys can hire people for, as needed, basically for the administration and efficiency of the council. Once you do that, the next logical person in the civil service tree is probably going to be the administrative assistant. So, who wants to start?
Do we have a motion on the floor for the president?
Do we want to amend the motion now that we got more information, or want to keep it the same?
We already have one on the floor. Do you
Yeah,
wanna
I'm going to ask you
rescind
that question, if you want to amend it, or if you'd like to proceed with your motion.
We can amend it
Okay.
to say
Or
that,
do you want to withdraw your motion?
sure,
Okay.
I'll withdraw.
Okay, motion's been withdrawn. Does anybody have a new motion to place on the floor?
Would, Mr. Myers, would it be appropriate to basically state for the record why, or what are, if each one of us want to?
That doesn't matter. We need a pro temp.
Yes, we do.
We need a clerk, period.
Right.
That's what, we need to move forward, not
Yep.
worry about.
I'm not stating that. I'm stating, should we not go around and say no? At least it's stated on the record that each one of us doesn't want to be on it.
Procedurally, that should be the thing.
If it's necessary, sure.
Yeah.
I'll start with you.
Which I can start.
Just go around, yeah.
No, I would not like the pro tem.
No.
I'm also a no, Mr. Murray.
I'm also a no.
I'm a no.
I'm a no.
And Mrs. Sherrick said by email today that she was not interested, so there are 7 no's.
All right. Now, I believe that the next step is for you guys to appoint whoever you'd like. The next logical step would be the council president. If you want to go through that motion, you can. He's already turned it down.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
The next logical step after that is probably going to be the administrative assistant, but that doesn't fix our problems because we need the interim clerk's signature, but there's no way Lisa can do 2 jobs. She can't do the work as the clerk. That's not fair to her.
Does the opportunity or possibility exist that, I'm just going to use numbers for the sake of this conversation, if she does 30 hours of work in the mayor's office and 10 hours of work in the clerk's office, then she could be paid 75% out of where she's paid out of now, and the other 25% out of the clerk's line item?
I believe so. You should check with Kaylee on that. I don't believe the clerk is classified civil service, but ultimately, I think Lisa should have a say in those, whether, like, if she's willing to put her name to it so we can get stuff passed, that's one thing. I don't necessarily want to make a decision for her.
No, I think at some point we're going to ask her if she's interested, but I think answering some of these questions are pretty important.
Can you repeat the question? I want to make sure I'm getting exactly.
Essentially what I was asking, if she did 75% of her time in the mayor's office with her current position and 25% of her time filling in.
Yeah, so she would just put that on her timesheet,
She
how many
could-
hours
okay.
worked, we would switch the account she's paid out of.
Okay.
Mr. Myers,
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I'd love to hear Lisa's input, but essentially if we appointed somebody, I mean, I don't know, is it realistic for her to do 2 40-hour jobs?
No, I don't think that's what anybody suggested, and I think this is also a stopgap, temporary measure to get us by. We've gone through these, periods before when we've had a clerk step down. So I think what we've kind of discussed.
First of all, we gotta ask if she wants to do it.
I'm getting to that point
Okay,
once I get all the
okay.
questions answered
Okay.
up here.
Well, I guess if I may ask the mayor as well, like, is that gonna affect the office for you guys? Like, is there things that are gonna be delayed because?
I want to make sure that everything's taken care of. We have so many important items, and I want to move forward. I want to make sure that everything's done here for the city. It's too important.
Yeah. I'll make up for whatever we don't get done.
But it sounds like the administration's willing to make a team approach and use Lisa's name. So Lisa, I guess at this time I'll ask you, are you willing to take on that responsibility in the interim?
Somebody helps me.
I got you.
I mean, with the clerk stuff.
I got you.
Mr. Myers,
Yes, ma'am.
this is clearly like a burden that I don't feel is fair for another branch of government to take over because we're unwilling to do it. So with the pending lawsuit, I would do the clerk's position, but I would ask, because it would be a conflict of interest, that I report to you. And then you can act as an intermediary.
Is that appropriate?
Well, the way our organizational chart reads, the clerk is under both council president and city council. Theoretically, you could just change it to, instead of council president, to just be the pro tem council president. It makes sense. It's clearly a conflict. I mean, she's a named party in a lawsuit by the council president who has been making official statements on behalf of the city on our Facebook page. It's clearly a conflict to have her do it.
Or report to him.
Or work for him. I mean, yeah, it's a conflict to have them in an employer-employee relationship.
Anything from any of you all?
Good.
I'm fine with that if we can work that out.
With Lisa?
Lisa or Curtis, either one of them.
Yeah.
So I think you've heard two options. I would entertain a motion for one that suits you.
So let me get this straight. You're willing to take it. You're gonna answer to who?
Pro tem.
The pro tem. I'll make a motion for Clarissa Slater, pro tem. Clerk. Is that right?
So I have a motion by Mr. Me. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Is there any further discussion? Ms. Lewis, did you have something you wanted to add?
I just wanted to, so you would be approving the agendas and stuff when she comes to you versus Mr. Fankhauser? I'm just wondering who I need to send my information to.
I'm going to defer to Mr. Gobrecht just because I don't know the answer to those questions.
I think in the meantime, until things get officially changed, if we're going to do that, I think it's smart to have the pro tem step in and be the intermediary, because council president is the one that traditionally has been signing off on the agenda, reviewing the minutes, being the direct supervisor and all that stuff. But given the current situation, I don't think we have really another option other than to have the pro tem step up during a conflict.
So I would report to Kevin, and then Kevin would have Kurt give the final stamp of approval.
Let me think about that. You want to go into a recess so I can go downstairs and crack open a book?
If you are requesting the time to do that research, I think I would call that appropriate this time. Do you want me to set a time limit or just say we're in recess until you return?
You need a motion?
I don't know. now. Give me until I get back.
All right, I need a motion to go into recess until the law director returns.
So moved.
Mr. Me, Mr. Moritz, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We're in recess at 7:14 PM. We are back in session at 7:35 PM. Mr. Gerbrick, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. So, when I went out there, I was filling up my water jug, and our council president decided to come up to me and offer some free legal advice and threaten more litigation. I told him to get away from me, and he didn't, which is not surprising. But he was explaining that no member of the legislative body can do administrative tasks. And he is correct, there's a statute that says that. However, the statute also says that when the council president is unable to fulfill his job, then it falls to the pro tem. However, that would have to be the decision made by the council president. So no, unless the council president voluntarily recuses himself for the supervision of the clerk, there's nothing that we can do to force him short of going to court and getting an injunction and making him do it.
City's got business to take care of, you're fucking holding it up.
Thank you. Permission to be back in the meeting.
Uh,
Vote me back in.
Do we have a first, Mr. President?
Is there a motion to allow Mr. Fankhauser to return to his chair?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Spiegel. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Moritz. I'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Spiegel.
Yes.
Mr. Moritz.
Yes.
Mr. Me.
Yeah.
Mrs. Dishon.
Yes.
Mrs. Slater.
I'm abstaining due to conflict of interest.
I'm a yes. Motion passes.
Okay, we are back to appointment of the pro tem clerk. I became aware while I was out in the audience that one of the applicants that has applied for the clerk's position is with us tonight. My suggestion is maybe ask them if they'd be willing to.
Whatever we have on the floor, don't we have a motion on the floor?
There is a motion,
For
correct.
Mrs. Slater, so we gotta get that voted on, I think, first,
Or withdrawn.
or withdrawn, yes. Because Jim made the motion.
I'll withdraw the motion
Okay.
so we can move forward.
Yep.
Okay. We have a couple options here. One is the administrative assistant, I believe, because when Kelly Patterson was clerk and then she went to the mayor's office to be administrative assistant, she still did clerk duties till Mr. Hill was hired. So I don't see any reason why Lisa Stuckman couldn't legally do pro tem clerk just for this meeting because of what's been done in the past. And I believe that she only would want to do it for one meeting if she would have, I don't think she has, you don't want to do it beyond one meeting, if at all, right?
Whatever mayor wants me to do, I'll do it.
Or you could possibly appoint the other person out in the audience to be pro tem they had submitted an application.
I agree with Vicki.
What was Vicki's thing?
I don't think that would be appropriate.
I'm fine either way. I'm fine if Lisa would do it for one meeting. Mr. Myers.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Lisa Stuckman as our pro tem clerk of council.
I'll second.
For this meeting or?
No, I just stated that I'd like to appoint her the pro tem clerk of council.
For her council, yes.
Okay, Mr. Myers made the motion to appoint Lisa Stuckman is pro tem clerk of council. It's been seconded by Mr. Spiegel. Roll call vote. Myers.
Yes.
Dishon.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
Moritz.
Yes.
Sherrick is absent. Spiegel.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Okay.
One quick
Lisa-
question, Mr. President. Isn't that something the clerk typically does?
The vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, but now that she has been made the clerk, now she can do the
We
vote.
didn't have one.
So you are capable of doing it?
Let's move forward, please.
What's the point of that?
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
Okay, Lisa. All you gotta do is just sit there. You don't have to do anything. I try to make the meeting run smoothly. I'll help you out. Okay, so moving on, next thing on the agenda is accepting of the minutes from the July 8th, 2025 regular council meeting. Hello, did somebody say something? Mrs. Dishon?
I would like to move to table the approval of the July 8, 2025 regular council meeting minutes.
Mrs. Dishon has made a motion to table the July 8th, 2025 minutes. These minutes were actually not drawn up by the last council clerk. I believe they was drawn up by somebody in the mayor's office, so if somebody wants to second Vicki's motion.
Mr. President, they were drawn up by the last council clerk.
Oh, she did?
Yes.
Well, I thought you drew them up.
No, sir.
I was told that you were the one that drew them up.
I did the
Okay, well,
packages, is all I did.
regardless, Vicki has made a motion to table them. Does anybody want a second?
Second.
Mr. Me has seconded the tabling of the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the minutes from the July 8th, 2025 regular council meeting are tabled until the next meeting. Now we're up to granting permission for visitors to speak, and we're going to let Mr. Greg Timberlake from the partnership go first since he's been patiently waiting out in the audience.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. So you should have the handouts there. And this one is, I'd like to start here. So this is the description of the person who will come in as the new executive director. McKenna Laser, currently at the Greater Sandusky Partnership. So experience there, living in Bellevue, and a Norwalk-born person. So I'm really excited about her coming. She's coming on the 25th, and the board and I have agreed that I'll stay and help move into more of a part-time role right away and kind of be on call as long as she wants, and then I'll move on to my next phase of life. Any questions on that or comments? So the next one was, this was a project that Sarah Hurley, this is the colorful, I don't have any more color, but the JED and the CETA, Joint Economic Development District and Cooperative Economic Development Agreement. Sarah Hurley had gotten a little bit down the road on this, so I tried to pick that up. And I scheduled it so the new director will be able to go also. Since she starts on the 25th, she'll be able to go to this. And this is possibly important to Bucyrus. It's important to all municipalities because it tells you how to create agreements with townships that would allow you to share tax revenue. And as I understand it, there are currently some businesses right on the border of the city that the city could benefit from having a shared agreement with. So, and that's probably true in the villages around the county as well. So I've invited all the village councils. I'm inviting you. The mayors can come. Anyone can come. I've invited the township trustees, the township fiscal officers, and the 2 lawyers will come present. They will answer questions, and then they'll probably leave their business cards and go away. And I agreed to pay them $200 for driving up from Columbus and doing it. But I'm really excited they'll be here. It gives the county an opportunity to see if they want to do that, and it closes the door on something that Sarah started. So glad to have been able to do that. Then the other handout, the longer one, is this just describes the company we ended up hiring, contracting with to manage and be our lead on the $1.5 million countywide EPA brownfield grant. And in my first time I was here a few months ago, I showed a slideshow. We have 3 partners in that. The city of Bucyrus is one partner, the village of Crestline, and village of New Washington. So we make up the coalition. And it was members of the coalition, Tommy Bruce here, Tim Obringer, the solicitor from New Washington, and Corey, the village manager in Crestline, helped us select this. We interviewed 4 different companies. The county's been using Burgess Nyepel, and so we really wanted to we were leaning towards them, but we decided to go with this group because we really liked the way it goes. The brownfield grant is 2 phases. They'll do testing on properties when the owners agree that they want that to happen. They'll do the testing, and then we'll find out whatever we find out, whether there are pollutants there or not, what kind of brownfield we have, what it would cost to fix it up. This company does a great job in working with communities on redesigning what to do with that space once it's repaired, and they help write the grant to do that. So those are the 3 main things I wanted to talk about. And I do want to mention one other thing. And we're having our RGP partners coming down Thursday, and we have 3 business retention expansion meetings this Thursday. Those are important because we interview businesses. We find out if they're getting ready to grow, if they're getting ready to downsize. And if we, depending on that answer, then we try to help them. So we want to try to keep as many people employed as we can. And so we try to work with companies when they're faced with downturns. And then if they're in expansion mode, we want to help them pay for equipment they're using for expansion. So we have 3 of those meetings with Bucyrus companies this week. So, and they're all in growth mode. So that's a good sign. So what jobs, just one more thing, what jobs, our regional growth partners, they're the access to Jobs Ohio money. So if a company's going to buy $1 million piece of equipment, and we know soon enough before they write the check, before they pick it, then we can bring our GP in and they can see if they can find Jobs Ohio money to help purchase that machine. And if that will keep a job or 2 jobs or 3 jobs, then that makes it pretty likely they'll get at least a little money to help. So that's the kind of thing we're meeting on Thursday with. Thanks for your time. Tried to be quick. Any questions? Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we're moving on to the regular permission for visitors to speak. If there's any visitors who would like to address council, please state your name and address and tell you again.
Robert Taylor, 411 Plymouth Street. First, I'd like a motion to waive the time limit. Nobody? Okay, fine. I'd like a motion to waive the rules, because I would like to ask some questions, and I know you guys can't answer questions without waiving the rules, correct? None of that either. All right, have a good day.
Any other additional public?
May I reply, Mr. Taylor?
Well, it's not in the rules to reply.
I'll make a motion for Kevin.
No, don't worry about it.
We got to follow the rules. Next speaker, please.
Greg White, 1125 Hillcrest Drive. Thank you, Mr. President. Under council rules, the rules of procedure, a citizen has a right to redress their government body for any reason they seem fit. If you do not have to mention names at all. You can be as general as you want or as severe as you want. And if some people don't know who you're talking about, then sit there and be quiet until the speaker is done. When you call a point of order, a point of privilege, or a point of information, make sure you know what rule is being violated and how it pertains to the speaker. Many members of council don't even know these rules. In case in point, several times this council has let a certain person violate these rules many, many times. However, nothing is done. Why? Is it memory loss, or is it just that you want someone to attack against only certain people? Is it a political attack or a character assassination? Basically, they are orchestrated attacks by council members with a common goal, a deliberate act with a specific purpose in mind. I agree that council should treat the public with respect and uphold fair treatment, no matter if you disagree with the speaker. Several members of this council are weaponizing their own authority and undermining their own rules for their own personal gains or lack of self-control. On July 8th, I believe that several members of council conducted a tactical retaliation and age-based discrimination aimed at me. I broke no rules that apply to myself or in my speaking, and this has been going on for some time. These types of attacks could leave the city with more legal problems for violating state and federal laws. I also agreed that a request for accountability should never be punished, dismissed, or ignored. However, elected and appointed officials of this government body have no accountability for what is going on. We do have a serious issues and growing budget shortfalls. Just look at the last 12 months. Look at the vote on the firefighters' contract by the finance chairman and the vote for the manpower pay raise. Were these two done correctly and by the rules? Were there violations of laws and ethic issues? What is next? When are the increases coming for the sewer, water, storm, trash, Mr. Safety Director? August 1st? The city borrowed over $1 million for the water fund. Who's paying for this? What is going to be the cost to our monthly utility bill? Once again, who made this mistake and why are they not being held responsible for this? Is this council going to bring back the out-of-town tax credit after the election and make it retroactive back to January 1st, 2025? I believe that this is true. I think this is an orchestrated, planned attack by this council and the council members. On another light, I wish Casey Grawl good luck on her new job with the school system in Marion. Maybe soon the accountability of this will show the truth about everything of what was going on there. Oh, they got it, good. So two things that I also want to bring up. So public records, there's a form online by the city of Bucyrus. It's not being followed to the letter of the law, okay? There's no return that I received your public records request. It will be done on a certain date, certain time, okay? That's a violation of your own policy. Two, I found out today also, under Robert's Rules of Order, to make things easy for council, states that minutes should contain mainly the record of what was done at that meeting and not was said by the members. Minutes are not transcripts of meetings, rather than documents contain a record of action taken by the body organized by the meeting order of business, the agenda. These minutes can be very simple, very uncomplex, where we don't have to keep going over and over and correcting minutes. They can be very simple. It's the agenda. In closing, I too want certain council members to be issued former admonishments and censure to address retaliation and discrimination behavior towards citizens who speak out about their government. This shall not be tolerated, and they shall be held accountable for their actions. Thank you.
Write that off, 210 Ethel Street. I know you've had a lot going on here lately, but I was kind of wondering where we're at with accepting the YMCA building. I know a few weeks ago we were going to accept the building if it was still available, and that's all I've heard.
I thought we did.
It's already
I
done.
thought it was done.
Council voted to allow the administration to accept it.
Did we accept it? There's a for sale sign in front of it. I mean,
We did. We did.
Yeah, we did.
it's a done deal.
Yep.
Is the transfer happened into county?
Yes, it has.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Taylor, if you want to go up again, you can go up. I believe Mr. Thitoff was able to get a question answered, so I feel it's only right if you'd have the same chance.
Robert Taylor, 411 Plymouth Street. My question is for the law director.
What's up?
If legislation is passed and someone files a lawsuit and you're not named a defendant, who defends that legislation in court?
Can you rephrase that?
If legislation gets passed by this body
Mm-hmm.
and someone files a lawsuit against the said legislation
Mhm.
and you are not personally named
Oh,
as
I
a
would defend
defendant,
I would defend it.
you would defend
Or-
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or we would have outside counsel come in, but usually it'd be
But
to the law.
but technically, you can defend that
Correct.
case. Okay. Leads me into my next point. Why are we holding up a vita because we don't like the way the guy that's going to defend the legislation has written the final draft of the legislation? I've sat and I've watched the meetings. You guys were arguing about grammar, punctuation, semicolons, this, that, and the other. In the committee meetings, right? And it was getting held up, right? Because I think I read a statement in the press from you. It was based off of style. Even Mike, the guy from zoning, was saying,
That was Mike, not me, but yeah.
what's that?
That was Mike.
Yeah, because things were being delayed, correct? Or am I,
That's what committee meetings are for.
was it delayed or not?
I wouldn't,
We were delaying a veto, whether by weeks or whatever. My point is this, we are overcomplicating things. This
would agree
guy's
with that.
going to defend the legislation that gets passed. If he says it's legally sound, the guy on the zoning board said, yeah, that looks good to me. I think we ought to just, as legislative body, go with it. They're the guy who's going to defend it. That's just me personally, right? I think what we're doing, you two ladies, you guys are probably the most prepared public servants I have seen, and that's appreciated as a taxpayer. But you're also overcomplicating things, and that's something that, as a taxpayer, we probably don't like, because government's already very inefficient. And that just makes it more inefficient. And this is not the patriarchy or misogyny. I'm not coming at you because you're women. I don't care if it was a guy doing it. I would say the same thing. I feel like we're bogging it down, and we've got enough going on. He's got enough going on. Just as a taxpayer, I'm asking you, just let's not overcomplicate everything, especially if it's grammar. We're not English majors. I'm not an English major. When I'm sitting back there next year, there'll be a lot of misspelled words and things said wrong. Second, this is actually something that's going to come down the pipeline. I just talked to Tommy about it. The EPA wants legislation to allow them to just come in your house and test the water out of our pipes. Now, is that a big deal? They're testing the water? No. But the premise is it's the government keeping us safe. I'm not in favor of any federal or state bureaucracy coming into my home and testing anything. They want to test the water, they can test it right out of the spigot at City Hall or out at the water plant. And they're going to threaten the city with funding, they're going to threaten the city with grants that they're not going to get, they're going to threaten us with fines. I'm just here to tell you, when I'm sitting back there next year, if you guys pass any legislation that will allow a state or federal bureaucracy just to walk in someone's home, I'm going to be looking to repeal it, just based on principle. This is what they do. It's about control. There was other things I wanted to talk about, but I think you guys got enough problems and issues going on, and you probably just need to move on and try to fix some of those. Thanks.
Right now, everything's on schedule.
Exactly.
We are not,
Thanks for,
I'm not correcting you, I just want to let you know that we are on schedule. As soon as we can get it done, we're getting it done. Nobody's,
Is there any additional public participation?
I have a question for Tommy. That's all right, Mr. President. Regarding what Mr. Taylor just asked.
For the sake of meeting, is it something that can just go to when the Safety Service Director gives his report and then ask him?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, we went way over on this meeting here. I'm just trying to keep it going.
Imagine, Mr. President, I could have to get here by 9:30.
Okay. I don't see any additional public participation. Oh, we got one more coming up.
Thank you. Alena Fox, 401 Ridge Avenue. I'd like to inquire where this status is with wavelength equipment on city towers. Is there any action on that, or is that still in committee? I know there were several emails and things going on. Is that something that can be answered
I believe
tonight?
the mayor's going to give us an update during the mayor's report possibly.
Okay. Okay. And as a citizen, I'd like to also, I'd like to express my wishes for the resignation of City Council President Clerk Fankhauser. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not resigning, in case anybody was wondering. Is there any additional public participation? Seeing none, standing committee reports, plating committee, Mr. Me.
Mr. Stinchcomb has resigned on the BZA, so we need somebody else to sit on the BZA. That's normally been done by plating, so I need a motion I would like to make a motion to have that in plating.
To just refer it to plating?
To refer it to plating, yeah.
Okay, so Mr.
BZA
Made
appointment.
a motion. Okay, usually we have another piece of paper up here for a referral to plating. And this is to put
Replace Harry Stinchcomb.
Harry.
No.
It's not
No,
Harry,
Not
it's
Harry Stinchcomb.
Lipscomb.
Lipscomb. I'm sorry.
Now, if I, Mr. President, Mr. President,
Mrs.
Yeah,
Dishon.
these health reasons.
at our Tuesday, July 8th, regular council meeting, there was a referral made at that time for the appointment to the BZA and BBSA to the planning committee in connection with Mr. Lipscomb having stepped down. So that's already been taken care of.
I thought it was the appeals board. I thought we were talking about the appeals board then.
I'm reading the minutes that say appointment to BZA and BBSA to plating.
So it's already in committee.
Correct.
I think I remember that, so we don't need to re-refer it.
Okay, I apologize. I thought it was for the appeals board and not the BZA.
Did he resign also from the appeals board? Is he on the appeals board now?
Not on the appeals board, no.
Okay.
Somebody else resigned from there.
I guess that's already been referred.
Okay, that's already been referred. Is it any additional in your report for plating?
No additional.
Any questions from the council members for plating committee? Seeing none, Public Lands and Buildings Committee Chairwoman Sherrick is not here. So, Mr. Moritz,
Nothing this time.
any questions for Public Lands and Building? Seeing none, Health and Safety Chair, Mrs. Dishon.
Due to a lack of quorum, we had no meeting on July the 10th, and so I have no report.
Any questions for health and safety? Seeing none, Finance Committee, Mr. Myers.
No report.
Any questions for Finance Committee? Seeing none, Economic Development Committee, Vice Chair, Mrs. Dishon.
No report.
Any questions for Economic Development? Seeing none, Service Committee, Mr. Moritz.
Unfortunately, this time I do not have any reports.
Any questions for Service Committee? Seeing none, Special Ad Hoc Committee for Rules of Procedure, Mrs. Dishon.
No report.
Any questions for the Special Ad Hoc? Seeing none, Special Ad Hoc for Property Maintenance, Mr. Me.
No report.
Any questions for the Special Ad Hoc? Seeing none, Special Ad Hoc for Zoning Map, Mr. Me.
No report.
Any questions for the Special Ad Hoc? Seeing none, Traffic Commission, Mayor Trucca.
No report.
Any questions for Traffic Commission? Seeing none, need a motion to accept the committee reports collectively.
Make a motion. Second.
There were no reports to accept.
We're accepting that there was no reports. Mr. Moritz has made the motion.
Second.
Mr. Me seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign.
Opposed.
Okay, it passes. Report of city officers, Mayor Trucca.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mayor's message on council conduct and public posts. This statement is long overdue. As mayor, I want to make it clear that I do not support inappropriate behavior by elected officials, nor do I condone the public posting of personal opinions in ways that may damage public trust or confuse official positions. Elected officials have a responsibility to act with professionalism and respect, both in their actions and how they communicate with the public. While everybody is entitled to personal views, we must be mindful of how those views are shared, especially when serving in a public role. Therefore, I expect all members of city government to lead with integrity, speak thoughtfully, and remember their actions reflect on the entire community. Wavelength and the city of Bucyrus came to an agreement regarding the termination of the tower contract, all services being terminated within the next 6 months include internet, Wi-Fi services, and the cameras which have already been disconnected and removed. The mayor, the service director, Chief John Dorsey, Chief Chad Schwemley, Jeff Dunn, and Doug Fote have worked out an agreement for services for the 2025 Bratwurst Festival. We encourage everyone to come out and support the festival and want to thank Doug Fote and the Bratwurst Committee for promoting Bucyrus. End of report.
Okay, and before I ask the mayor any questions, I also just wanted to point out there's not to be any noise coming from the gallery. I heard some interruptions to the mayor's speech there. So if you would just kindly follow our rules of not making noise in the gallery. Any questions for the mayor?
I have a question.
Mrs. Dishon.
The agreement that you've come to with the Bratwurst Festival.
The agreement that we had come with the Bratwurst Festival is that Rumpke is donating their services to the Bratwurst Festival, and Rumpke is going to pick up the garbage or the refuse. They will be the ones who will be collecting it. The other part of the agreement is that The Bratwurst Festival is going to have a beer garden downtown at the bank parking lot, farmers, and they're going to provide police, but those police will only be remain in the area of the beer garden itself. We, as a city of Bucyrus, will be the ones that will be providing all law enforcement for the entire city of Bucyrus and all of Bratwurst Festival. This private company is only doing the beer garden.
And what is the dollar amount that you arrived at that the festival will be reimbursing the city for on the safety forces?
Well, on the safety forces, it's not an individual. It was across the board. It was agreed upon, and Mr. Fote, he wanted to uphold the agreement that was originally agreed to at $8,000.
And there will be, as there has always been in the past, legislation authorizing the entering into an agreement that the Bratwurst Festival will reimburse the city $8,000. And if I'm understanding correctly, you're stating that that's both for safety forces and cleaning services? Rumpke's not doing all of the cleaning services?
Yeah, Rumpke's doing all the services.
So then what else is there that the city is providing above safety forces?
So we still have to go in on Sunday night and clean, just like we always have.
Okay.
And then we have to set up or get them barricades.
Okay.
Set those out, things like that.
We still gotta clean the streets after the route.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
Sunday night.
And again,
And the firemen are a part of it as well.
Yeah, they do the washing of the streets.
so again, we will be having legislation where council,
As an administration, yes, I am requesting that.
You're requesting an ordinance or a resolution to be passed between now and the Bratwurst Festival, which is not very far away?
well,
Yeah, go ahead.
there already was a request by the
Yes.
administration. And I do recall there was a piece of legislation prepared. It was held because the administration had received correspondence from an individual with the Bratwurst Festival who indicated the possibility of changing the figure that was originally agreed to. So the legislation came to a standstill until this meeting was held.
Was the draft legislation already drawn up?
I'm almost positive. That was something I was going to look at.
Well, that's something that the Finance Committee will have to hash out this Thursday, I guess.
Okay, that's fine.
There's not too many meetings between the Bratwurst Festival after this meeting.
We have a meeting on Monday, council meeting on Monday.
Right.
So, okay, thank you.
Any additional questions for the mayor? Seeing none, Safety Service Director's report, Mr. Starner.
Thank you, Mr. President. The state of Ohio is going to be paving State Route 19 Hopley Avenue. This is in front of the First Christian Missionary and Alliance Church to the corporate line. I'd like to refer this to the plating committee, and that's into my report.
Okay, need somebody make a motion to refer State Route 19 is ODOT repaving to plating.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that was made by Mrs. Slater. Mrs. Slater made the first, seconded by Mr. Myers. All in favor? All opposed?
Oh, and I'm
Okay,
sorry, I didn't
ODOT
vote.
State Route 19 repaving has been sent to plating
Neither.
committee. Any other questions for the service director? I know, Chris, you had said you had a question for the service director.
Yes, regarding Mr. Taylor had come up and had a question about with the EPA wanting to come into our homes. Was that the EPA or was that a different outfit that wanted to try to come in and test the water in our homes?
So the EPA is gonna send either our guys or a private company, is what they're talking about.
So in my research of it, I don't know how many people you have reached out to.
Zero.
Zero? You reached out to zero?
I have.
Well, I didn't contact, well, actually, our own head of the city water ought to be able to answer this question too. I went out to City Shelby where I used to work at, for not water department. They have heard nothing about the EPA wanting to do this. No laws have been changed. They're not asking for doing any of that stuff. On the EPA side of stuff, they haven't got anything on that yet. I did not reach out to our own personal one yet, but maybe you want to find that out because I'm not too sure that's a thing.
Can I ask for another point of clarification? Are they asking, is the EPA asking for us to pass legislation that our residents have to allow them to come in?
We're just trying to get ahead of the EPA a little bit on this one.
But so are you asking us to make it that every resident has to allow us in, or are you asking for volunteers in our
I'm
community?
just asking for the consideration to possibly allow people to come in. That's all
That's
I'm
actually already on the
asking.
services agenda to bring it up whenever we need to.
That's already been referred to service committee?
Yes,
Yeah, you don't have to do anything with it.
right. That's already on our services.
You can set on it.
So if it ever happens,
Yeah.
bring it up.
Okay, any other questions for service director? Seeing none, we're gonna move on to the law director's report, Mr. Gobricht.
No report at this time.
Does anybody have any questions for the law director? Seeing none, moving on, auditor's report, Ms. Lewis.
No report.
Does anybody have any questions for the auditor? Seeing none, treasurer's report, we have one in the packet dated June 30th, 2025. It's there for your review. No police chief report, but we do have a new police chief. He was sworn in.
Last Monday.
Was he sworn in Monday or Friday?
Oh, Friday, yeah, you're right. Last Friday.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know who it is Dorsey. So he is the new police chief and this is his first week on as chief, so we thank him for that. There is no fire chief report, so I need a motion to accept the city officers' reports collectively.
I'll make a motion to accept and file the officers' reports.
Mr. Myers made a motion to accept and file the city officers' reports, seconded by Mr. Moritz. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. They're accepted. Now we are at the visitors' input regarding the reports of standing/special committees and of city officers. Is there any visitors' input?
Robert Taylor, 411 Plymouth. I don't have input. I have a question for the mayor, if that's allowed.
Yes, it is allowed. I just became aware that the questions can be asked during this period in the meeting.
Well, thank you. Mr. Mayor, do we have any general number of how much money it's going to cost us to replace the services that Wavelength was providing? Is it going to be fairly the same? I mean, are we saving money? Are we losing money?
Right now, I have Lisa Stockman looking into that right now.
Okay.
And she's got a good handle on it for the sake that we've found a lot of open accounts that we've been paying on past administrations for like the last 10 years. So
well,
we found a lot of savings, so.
I mean in that specific issue.
Yes, and it was dealing with Spectrum.
Okay.
Time Warner.
Yeah, that's not my question. Now, my question is the services that Kurt's business was providing the city, what was that saving us? Were we saving any money by using Wavelength as opposed to, say, Spectrum? Or
Well, most definitely. So.
Okay.
Most
So,
definitely.
so, here's my question. How much more is it going to cost us now that Wavelink is no longer going to provide that discounted service? Do we have any idea what that is?
The public trust. Not asking you.
No noises from the audience, please.
Do we have an idea on that, or is that something that you can get back with me on?
Yeah, I can get back.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other public participation? For
Greg White,
the-
1125 Hillcrest Drive. Since we can't address the ad hoc committee for rules of procedure, I want to know what's going on with the rules of procedure, and why isn't council writing their own rules? Because it says in the High Revised Code, the council shall write their own rules. Okay? I would like an update on that, since there is no meetings. Thank you.
And I would like to respond to Mr. White's inquiry.
Floor is yours, Vicki.
The reason we have had no meetings of the ad hoc for rules of procedure is we are waiting for draft legislation from the law director for us to review. And until we have that draft or those drafts, because we have two sections that we're dealing with, Chapter 111 and Chapter 113, and then I guess really you could say 3, because there's also the rules of procedure. So that's where that stands. Until we have received those drafts, there's nothing for us to beat on.
And I've made very little headway on it because unprecedented dumb stuff keeps coming up that shouldn't have to be put in the rules. But I have to keep going back to the drawing board every 2 weeks.
At this point, I don't believe this council's gonna be able to get rules before the end of our session here, December 31st, so I'm more than willing to just run the meetings as I see fit, if council would, be okay with that.
Well, keep in mind, there are rules in place.
Under the existing rules.
Correct, yes. And I totally understand that. You can't do anything but operate under the existing rules. But for you to say that you're going to run the meeting as you see fit, you will run the meeting as the rules state.
That's what I've been doing.
No comment.
Okay, any other public participation?
Didn't you say there wasn't supposed to be any speakers together, Mr. President?
You can come up to the podium and address council, sir. And you're gonna have to state your name and your address, and you can't use a fake name.
Nope, I'm not going to. I know you're trying to get it. My name's John Van Hester, 134 Reeve Avenue in Mansfield. My question was, I lost train of thought, I'm sorry. I'm not good at public speaking. You said that nobody was supposed to be speaking from the back when you saw me speaking to Mr. Elmer back there, correct? So why are you not holding the same accountability to Greg White and the rest of your crew back there?
I didn't specifically name any certain person that was
You
speaking.
didn't name
to that.
anybody, but you didn't say anything until I spoke up.
Well,
So hold
apparently
the
your
same
voice
candle to your
carries
crew as you're holding to me. Thank you.
Any other additional public participation? Mr. Myers?
May I participate, public participation from my seat?
Of course.
In regards to what the administration was speaking about, their desire to look for potential legislation on the allowing people to enter into our homes for the water, I'm going to speak real quickly to Mr. Spiegel as my third ward representative, Mrs. Dishon and Mrs. Slater as my at-large representatives. I'm going to ask that you strongly oppose that. I feel that asking or allowing any agency to come into our homes without invite is an absolute violation of our rights, and I just want to go on the record as saying that. I also then, from my council chair, I want to ask if there are any people out in town that think that's a good idea. I'd love to hear from them. But I absolutely pledge to oppose that vehemently unless I hear otherwise from our constituents. Thank you.
And I pledge to, if it becomes a tie vote, I will vote against it myself. Okay, I don't see any additional public participation, so we are going to move on to consideration of proposed legislation for the first time. First up, we have proposed ordinance 32-2025.
Ordinance 32-2025.
Just go from there to...
An ordinance amending section 189.012 of the city's codified ordinances to provide for the levy of an additional 65/1,000% income tax for a period of 4 years to provide funds for the purposes of operating, maintaining, repairing, reconstructing, renovating, equipping, furnishing, and improving the city's swimming pool and facilities ancillary thereto, including the concession stand, restrooms, and parking facilities, and site improvements therefore, and appurtenances thereto, thank you, including the payment of debt service charges on securities issued for those purposes. (2025), a resolution declaring the necessity of an election on the question of approving the passage of an ordinance amending section 189.012 of the city's codified ordinances to provide for the levy of an additional 65/1,000% income tax for a period of 4 years to provide funds for the purposes of operating, maintaining, repairing, reconstructing, renovating, equipping, furnishing, and improving the city's swimming pool and facilities ancillary thereto, including the concession stand, restrooms, and parking facilities, and site improvements therefore, and appurtenances thereto, including the payment of debt service charges on securities issued for those purposes, and declaring an emergency. 33-2025. An ordinance vacating a part of Pleasant Hill Drive being 236.75 feet in length on the west side and 237.13 feet in length on the east side, and 16 feet in length on the south side, and 16 feet in length on the north side, beginning at the north end of Pleasant Hill Drive as described in the courses below, being more fully described as follows.
You gotta read all that on this.
Really? Description of a portion of Pleasant Hill Drive to be vacated, south from Hill Street and west of Plants Way, City of Bucyrus, Crawford County, Ohio. Situated in the state of Ohio, County of Crawford, City of Bucyrus, in Section 1, Township 3 South, Range 16 East, South, and East Survey, and being a portion of Pleasant Hill Drive as shown of record in Plat Book 19, page 96, all references being to the Recorder's Office, Crawford County, Ohio, and bounded described as follows. Beginning at, is it just MAG? Nail set at the intersection of east right-of-way line of Pleasant Hill Drive, 16 feet in width, with south right-of-way line of Hill Street, 48 feet in width, at the northwest corner of in-lot 5587 of consecutive numbers of lot on the plat of the City of Bucyrus, said nail being south 86 degree, 18 foot 20 inches, west a distance along the south right-of-way line of Hill Street, a distance of 150.87 feet from the drill hole set in sidewalk at the intersection of the south right-of-way line of Hill Street with the west right-of-way line of Plants Way, 50 feet in width, as shown of record in Plat Book 19, page 96, and the northeast corner of said in-lot 5587. Thence south 0 degree, 25 foot, 12 inches east along the east right-of-way line of Pleasant Hill Drive, along the west line of in-lot 5587, along the west line of in-lot 1753, the west line of an alley 16 foot in width and later vacated by ordinance 1089, and along the portion of west line of inlet 1147, all is shown of record in Plat Book 19, page 96, a distance of 237.13 feet to a mag nail set, thence north 89 degree, 25 foot, 46 inch, west crossing of Pleasant Hill Drive, a distance of 16 feet to a 5/8 inch iron pin set in the east line of outlet 22, as shown of record in Plat Book 15, page 363. Thence north 0 degree, 25 feet, 12 inch west along the west right-of-way line of Pleasant Hill Drive and along a portion of east line of outlet 22, a distance of 236.75 feet to a railroad spike found at the intersection of the west right-of-way line of Pleasant Hill Drive with the south right-of-way line of Hill Street. Thence north 89 degree, 48 foot, 5 inch east along the south right-of-way line of Hill Street, a distance of 13.40 feet to a mag nail set at an angle point in the south right-of-way line of Hill Street. Thence north 86 degree, 18 feet, 20 inch east along the south right-of-way line of Hill Street, a distance of 2.60 feet to the place of beginning, containing 3,790 square feet, equaling 0.087 acre of land, more or less, and being subject to all easements and restrictions of record. The above description was prepared by Kevin L. Baxter, Ohio Surveyor number 7697 of V3 Companies Limited, Consulting Engineers and Surveyors, Columbus, Ohio, an actual field survey performed under his supervision in May of 2025. All 5/8 inch iron pins set are 30 inches in length with a plastic cap stamped V3PXOH firm number 4838. Basis of bearings is the center line of Plains Way, being south 0 degree, 0 feet, 27 inches west, derived from Ohio RTN observations referencing monument PID designation of DM 4137 and CORS_ID of Omaha, Ohio North Zone NED 83, 2011, Epoch 2010, and all other bearings are based upon this meridian. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. We have 34, 2025, an ordinance dedicating a public street to be referred to as, is that Rima Place? A part of inlet 1145 to be 50 feet in length on the west side and 50.58 feet in length on the east side and 153.55 feet in length on the south side and 148.26 feet in length on the north side of the property line, being a part of inlet 1145, being more fully described herein below. Described of a 0.172 acre tract between Pleasant Hill Drive and Plants Way south of Hill Street for roadway dedication, City of Bucyrus, Crawford County, Ohio. Situated in the state of Ohio, County of Crawford, City of Bucyrus, in Section 1, Township 3 South, Range 16 East, South, and East Survey, and being all of in-lot 1145 of the consecutive numbers of lot on the plat of City of Bucyrus. Said in-lot 1145 has been conveyed as Parcel 2 to Avita Health System by deed of record in Official Record 1006, page 40, all references being to the Recorder's Office, Crawford County, Ohio, and further bounded, described as follows. Beginning at a 5/8 inch iron pin set at the northeast corner of said in-lot 1145 in the west right-of-way of line of Plants Way, 50 foot in width, as shown of record in Plat Book 19, page 96 at the southeast corner of in-lot 1146 of the consecutive numbers of lot on the plat of City of Bucyrus, said iron pin being south 0 degrees 0 feet 27 inch west, a distance of 323.05 feet from the drill hole set at the intersection of the west right-of-way line of Plants Way with the south right-of-way line of Hill Street, 48 foot in width, as shown in record in plat book 19, page 96. Thence south 0 degrees 0 foot 27 inch west along an east line of said in-lot 1145 and along the west right-of-way line of Plants Way, a distance of 17.89 feet to a 5/8 inch iron pin set at an angle point in the east line of in-lot 1145 and at an angle in the west right-of-way line of Plants Way. Thence south 9 degree 58 foot 1 inch east along an easterly line of said in-lot 1145 and along the west right-of-way line of Plants Way at a distance of 32.69 feet to a 5/8 inch iron pin set at the southeast corner of said in-lot 1145 and at a northeast corner of in-lot 1144 of the consecutive number of lots on the plat of the City of Bucyrus. Thence north 89 degrees 0 feet 34 inch west along the south line of said in-lot 1145 and along the north line of said in-lot 1144, a distance of 153.55 feet to a 5/8 inch iron pin set at the southwest corner of said in-lot 1145, at the northwest corner of said in-lot 1144, and in the east right-of-way line of Pleasant Hill Drive, 16 feet in width, as shown of record in plat book 19, page 96. Thence north 0 degree 25 foot 12 inches west along the west line of said in-lot 1145 and along the east right-of-way line of Pleasant Hill Drive, a distance of 50 feet to a 5/8 inch iron pin set at the northwest corner of said in-lot 1145 and at the southwest corner of said in-lot 1146. Thence south 89 degrees 0 foot 34 inch east along the north line of said in-lot 1145 and along the south line of in-lot 1146, a distance of 148.26 feet at the place of beginning, containing 7,492 square feet, equals 0.172 acre of land, more or less, and subject to all easements and restrictions of record of said 0.172 acre, all are within PN 08-00-18281.000. The above description was prepared by Kevin L. Baxter, Ohio Surveyor, number 7697 of V3 Companies Limited, Consulting Engineers and Surveyors, Columbus, Ohio, an actual field survey performed under his supervision in May of 2025. All 5/8 inch iron pins set that are 30 inches in length with a plastic cap stamp V3PXOH firm number 4838. Basis of bearings is the center line of Plains Way being south 0 degrees 0 feet 27 inch west, derived from the Ohio RTN observations referencing monument PID designation of DM 4137 and CORS ID of OHMA, Ohio North Zone, NAD 83, 2011, EPOC 2010, and all other bearings are based upon this meridian.
Okay, need
I
a
have one
motion
more.
to accept that as a first
Do I have
reading.
this one?
So moved.
Help me out, who made the motion?
Me, Spiegel.
Oh,
Spiegel, me.
Spiegel made the motion, seconded by Mr. Me. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Public participation, any member of the general public may present their input or comments on legislation being read for the first time. Don't see any public participation.
Mr. President,
Mrs. Dishon.
I would like to speak on the legislation drafts.
You can speak, Mrs. Dishon.
Okay, first off, we'll take a look at ordinance 32-2025. Has to do with the pool levy. And I will point out that the legislation dealing with the pool levy, we have an ordinance and a resolution. Both of those were prepared by, I don't know if I'm going to say the name correctly, Squires, Patton, and Boggs. Squire, Patton, Bogg. They are, that's the company or firm or whatever that prepared these two pieces. First off, if you look at Resolution 222-2025, page 2, or no, excuse me, the very first page. It states, "in declaring an emergency." If you look at Ordinance 32-2025, it does not state "and declaring an emergency" on page 1 in the caption. Now, they both are emergency pieces of legislation. However, for whatever reason, they've got "and declaring an emergency" on one, but not on the other.
I'll let the law director speak to that.
I didn't write it. We
And that's what I
contracted
pointed
out.
out.
Can we make a motion to amend it and then
Yes.
still pass it this evening and have it corrected
Correct.
after the fact?
You can always amend it.
And then one other thing to point out, that on resolution number 222, page 2, under section 2, where it reiterates or what have you, ordinance number 32-2025, we'll want to add in there under the caption "in declaring an emergency."
I will make a motion to amend
Well, then, I'll second that.
the 32-2025 with the "in declaring an emergency." Will we want to do this separate or? we do
I
one?
would like to do them together if you
Okay,
wouldn't mind.
and then resolution number 222-2025, in section 2 on page 2, under the listing of 32-2025, that it mirror the language and state "and declaring an emergency."
Is there a second?
I already did.
Okay, Mrs. Slater has made a motion to amend ordinance 32-2025 to add at the very first paragraph there at the end, "and declaring an emergency," because it currently does not say "and declaring an emergency." And also she made to amend resolution 222-2025 on page 2, section 2, at the end of the paragraph there, that it says of debt service charges and securities issued for those purposes, and at that point, "and declaring an emergency." So we have motion has been made and second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so
Then, Mr.
that
President.
passes.
Excuse me.
Mrs. Dishon?
Then I also have questions or comments to make on proposed ordinance 33-2025, as well as ordinance 34-2025. Now, if you look at ordinance number 33-2025, that ordinance, if you read the caption, refers to the vacating of the north end of the Pleasant Hill Drive. However, on the agenda, the ordinance says that 33-2025 deals with the roadway dedication.
I'll take that mistake.
So, ordinance number 33-2025 needs to state ordinance number 34-2025.
Well, then what about the one that is 34-20?
Then that needs to be 33-2025.
I think she's saying the legislation is correct. They're just flopped on the agenda.
No, they're not flopped on the agenda, they're flopped on the
Okay,
legislation.
the numbers on the legislation.
Yeah. The actual legislation that states 33-2025 should state 34-2025.
So just to clarify, vacation,
Because at the last, at the last committee meeting, I do believe, it was the last committee meeting, or maybe it was not. I have a timetable that I prepared for both how we handled the pool levy legislation as well as the Avita legislation. Because as we all know, Crawford County now, had an article on that, which I will be speaking about later, and their article was incorrect, made in error comments or statements. Anyhow, Mr. Starner had stated that we need to dedicate the street before we do a vacating, or we do a vacation of the Pleasant Hill Drive. So, with that being said, the dedication piece needs to come first, and right now, it's numbered 34-2025. It needs to be number 33-2025 to ensure that it is passed first. Then the vacation, which comes after the dedication, it right now is identified as ordinance 33-2025. It needs to be identified as 34-2025. And I know there are those that, have made the comment that, I'm picky and I'm, pointing out things that don't need to be pointed out. Well, I will say this, for 38 plus years, I worked for 5 different law directors. My job was to not only type the legislation, but I did prepare a majority. To whomever. Because you're not the only one that has commented on that.
I'm sorry, I apologize if
You were offended. I was speaking as a taxpayer. What's your job now?
Counsel.
Okay.
Counsel at large.
Okay. Again, who's going to defend the legislation if someone files a lawsuit? You? Or are you going to file the lawsuit? That's my point as a taxpayer. Right? Now, what you're doing now, I think, is fine, right? Because you are pointing out things that are out of place and do need to be corrected. The meeting I watched that I was commenting about, it was about grammar and punctuation and spelling and semicolons and bullshit like that.
Mr. President.
Okay. As I stated before, and I'm going to state it again. If these committees would get their full legislation in proper form before they would advance them to full council, which is what I've always hoped that they would do. But then they don't. They just ask for it, and then it's just kind of jack in the box. You get what you get on the day of the council meeting, and that's what we're dealing with right now. Now, I know this one was kind of rushed because we got to get this Avita thing passed, because Avita has a multi-million-dollar project that's being held up right now. But for future reference, please, I beg the committees, all of them, review your final legislation in your committees on your Thursday nights before you advance it to full council.
That's
So
what
we
we
don't
did.
have these issues.
That's what we did on that Thursday.
Well,
We
then
went
why
through it
are
with
we
a fine-tooth
having a
comb.
discussion right now about?
If you were paying attention, it's flip-flopped. The ordinance number is flip-flopped.
And
That's it.
Excuse me, and also at that meeting, it was stated that this legislation, we requested the legislation based on the edits to be referred to council, with the understanding that at the council meeting, there could be edits, amendments, whatever you want to call it, at the council meeting on the floor.
Which is perfectly acceptable.
Right. And so we are,
Mr. President,
Mr. Meyer.
I'd like to make a motion to amend 33 to read 34 and 34 to read 33.
That's an emergency.
No, there's no emergency. Make a motion to amend.
I'll second that. Not only that, but I mean, the wording has emergency in the legislation. What does it change to? right?
Okay, Mr. Myers has made a motion to change ordinance 33-2025 to read 34-2025 and ordinance 34-2025 to read 33-2025. Did somebody second it? Mr. Spiegel seconded it. All in favor?
Can we have a discussion?
Is there, okay, let's back up to the discussion. Is there any discussion?
Yes. So
Mrs. Slater?
based off of what Mr. Moritz just stated about and declaring an emergency, that is not in the caption. So currently, the legislation reads as not an emergency, but we're planning on passing it as emergency tonight. So I would just ask that the motion be amended so that the amendment includes that.
there's,
Make a motion to amend
Yeah.
the emergency section of that. That's what we can do.
What do you mean, what's Vicki?
What's your thoughts, Vicki?
well, my first thought is I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't.
Join the club.
There are more,
There's more corrections in these ordinances in there.
correct? I'm just going to point them out. You do what you want, okay? As was pointed out, these two pieces were never asked for to be an emergency. But as it's been pointed out, they need to be, correct?
Well, the mayor had spoke to Avita and they want to get rolling on this project.
Okay, so if that's the case, the caption in each one of these ordinances should state, "and declaring an emergency." Now, in the description, the legal description, which was
Where would you, on the caption, because of the caption being extended?
Well, and that's another point. Back at the July 10th Plating Committee meeting, at that time, our clerk, Miranda Wise, asked the question, is the legal description to be part of the caption, and is it necessary for her then to read that? And she was told yes. Now, need I remind council that if that's what's going to be done, that this legal description on both pieces of legislation will need to be advertised in the newspaper. And that's going to cost. And I have to question, why do you need that legal description within the caption part? That's where I had mentioned before, moving it back under the whereases, but that was not receptive.
And to Vicki's point, we've had other pieces of legislation that have had legal descriptions in them that have never been in the caption.
Who prepared this? These 33 and this 34-2025?
That'd be me.
Okay, so, I think it's
To cut you
kind of up
off.
to the discretion of the person writing the legislation, what their style is. And I'm not knocking Mr. Gobrick's style. If he wants to write it this way, I'm fine with it.
It's not even my style. It's the last vacation and dedication that we did that I pulled up on the computer. It's where it was the last time too. I wouldn't have put it there.
And I'll tell you what, and I've done this before. I'm sorry that
So did the
or no,
last
I'm not sorry that I like to have things done correctly. You pass this piece of legislation the way it's prepared, you're gonna have a problem. And I'm pointing that out to you because there's more things that need to be changed. If you're gonna make an emergency, you have to change a majority to be that of 2/3.
Well, I tell
You have to
what.
have an emergency clause under section 2.
I tell you what, here's what we're gonna do. Here's my recommendation of what we need to do with this, since there's so many things. And this is, you're on one of these committees, Vicki. Let's just send it back to the committee for this Thursday. You guys can get this figured out. We'll have an emergency council meeting, special council meeting after. Well, it's probably not gonna, there's gonna be so many things wrong with it, I'm betting we won't even be able to have a special council meeting.
That's not
that night.
We got one Monday though.
Yeah.
Another meeting.
We got a special meeting that comes.
No, we have a regular
Regular
council
meeting.
meeting. Don't you know when the meetings are?
Well, we moved them around because I believe the National Night Out.
I would like to request that we schedule a special council meeting for this Thursday and hope that we can get this all taken care of in committee and get it ready to pass Thursday. If we don't, we can fall back to Monday. I'd like to do our job and get this shit, this stuff put in place for Avita to get their job done.
Amen.
So you're making a motion to send 34 and 33, 2025 back to committee on Thursday.
And schedule a special council meeting on Thursday.
I'm fine with that.
And I'll second that.
Mr. Myers has made the motion to send 33-2025 and 34-2025 back to committee. Mr. Moritz has seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
And I would ask Mr. Fankhauser if you would be so kind as to, if you by chance discuss with Crawford County now on what's been occurring right now with these two pieces, that you do not make the erroneous statement that the legislation was stalled because of, just hold on a second, that the legislation was stalled due to extensive revisions and edits being demanded by council members, including Aaron Sherry, Clarissa Slater, and Vicki Dishon, because that is not the case. Thank you.
Okay, so those are going back to committee. The 33-2025 and 34-2025 are going back to committee. So we are still wrapping up the public participation period for the first reading. We're going to move on to continuous consideration of proposed legislation for the second time. And we have this 31-2025. I'm going to let the pro tem read the
31-2025.
Yeah.
31 dash, it might not be at the end.
It is, it's the last page.
Okay, that is.
Amending the traffic control map and file established by sections 305.01, 305.02, and 305.03 of the codified ordinances of the city of Bucyrus, Ohio, by establishing one-way traffic on Galen Street, henceforth flowing west from Walnut Street to Spring Street. This coincides with railroad crossing upgrades being performed along this portion of Galen Street.
Okay, so that's the end of that. I need a motion to accept that as second read.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Myers made the motion, Mr. Moritz seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Is there any public participation on legislation being read for the second time? I don't see any public participation. Vicki?
Yes, I have comment to make on this particular piece. If you will remember back at the July 8th council meeting, there were Scrivener errors approved by council to this piece. However, those Scrivener errors that were made and approved are not reflected on this piece that we have in our packet.
Which one specifically?
Which one specifically?
30.
We're in the caption. And again, as was pointed out, they're Scrivener errors. 305.02, comma, after 02. The next line, by establishing one way is one dash way. That's not in there. Section 1, line 2, where it says Bucyrus, Ohio, comma after Ohio, and the word "and" to be deleted. The next line in section 1 where it says...
Where is "and" supposed to be deleted?
Excuse me?
Where is the "and" that's supposed to be deleted?
Where the second sentence in section 1 where it says City of Bucyrus, Ohio, and the traffic control map, that "and."
Why would that need to be taken out?
Because there's another "and."
Pursuant to sections 305.01, 305.02, and 305.03 of the codified ordinance of the City of Bucyrus, Ohio, and the traffic control map and file of said city is hereby amended as follows.
That was one that you had on your, when I did bring that sheet.
If I may, is this an issue? I know that these were done in real time, Mr. Gobrecht, because we did them in real time. I watched you enter them into the computer. Is this possibly just an error of having this being filed without the council clerk? These were the ones that were already in the file.
I was going to say, I remember doing these.
Yes, we changed them. I think this is the outdated form.
Okay, so since this isn't being passed tonight, it's just a second reading.
Yeah.
My belief is that the Scrivener errors can be corrected between now and the next regular meeting when this piece would have its final passage for adoption, so.
I believe this is just outdated. I think this is probably a...
Which has happened with that with other stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Pulled this off the computer, so whatever was in the documents on the plan is what it is.
Okay, so Mr. Gobert's
I'm hoping
corrections for
that the Scrivener errors will be corrected between the second and the final reading. Because the Scrivener errors technically per like court cases aren't enough to
overturn legislation,
hold something up and make it not legal, so. Okay, does that satisfy you for now, Vicki?
I actually see a Scrivener error. Shouldn't section 2 read that the authorized agency, comma, or official, comma, shall amend the traffic control map? Wouldn't that read correctly, adding those commas in there?
Well,
let's talk about it.
here's the deal. Here's the deal with this piece of legislation. This says Health and Safety Committee, which means this is Vicki's committee. She can go work this out with the law director between now and the next meeting and get the errors, Scrivener errors corrected. And then we will have a perfect ordinance, I'm hoping, because, you know, I'm assuming that the Scrivener errors can be corrected in less than 15 minutes if Vicki and the law director would just sit down and have a nice talk in his office. That's where I'm at with it. And that's the other thing you can fix on this is it says that here it says Miranda Wise, Clerk of Council. You guys can change that because that won't be right either, so. Okay. So this consideration of proposed legislation for the final time thing, that shouldn't be on this agenda because. So referred back to originating committee. We have scratched the 33-2025. We've scratched the 34-2025. They're going back to committee. Right now, we're looking at passing of the 32-2025, ordinance 32-2025, and resolution 222-2025.
Are we also not looking at ordinance 31-2025?
Yep.
Goes for the second time?
That's only up for a second.
Still gets
It was
referred
second
back to
reading.
It still gets referred, yes, as Mr. Myers stated. Still referred back to committee.
So 31-2025 is still pending with its committee, so, which would be the Health and Safety Committee. Okay. Moving on, committee reports. Finance Committee, how do you,
Finance Committee is favorable to proposed ordinance 32-2025, as well as favorable to proposed resolution 222-2025,
okay.
as amended.
Oh, as amended. Which one was as amended, both of them?
Both of them.
Okay. Further consideration of pending legislation for the second and third reading of...
Wait a minute.
What?
Are you not going to ask me, as the Health and Safety Committee Chair, if I'm favorable to proposed ordinance
31.
number 31-2025, dealing with the traffic control map update regarding Galen Street?
Okay. Health and Safety Committee.
Health and Safety Committee is favorable to proposed ordinance number 31-2025 for the traffic control map update regarding Galen Street.
Further consideration of pending legislation for the second and third reading of proposed ordinance 32-2025 as amended. Do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Myers made the motion. Mrs. Slater seconded.
Myers?
Yes.
Dishon?
Yes.
Slater?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
Sherrick is absent. Spiegel?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed ordinance 32-2025 as amended?
Second.
Mr. Myers made the motion, Mr. Moritz seconded.
Myers?
Yes.
Dishon?
Yes.
Slater?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
Sherrick is absent. Spiegel?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Ordinance 32-2025 is duly adopted as amended. For the second and third reading of resolution 222-2025 as amended, do I hear a motion to suspend the rules, waive the reading of the caption and text, and declare an emergency?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Myers made the motion, Mr. Spiegel seconded.
Myers?
Yes.
Dishon?
Yes.
Slater?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
Sherrick is absent. Spiegel?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Do I hear a motion to adopt proposed resolution 222-2025 as amended?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Myers made the motion, Mrs. Slater seconded.
Myers?
Yes.
Dishon?
Yes.
Slater?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
Sherrick is absent. Spiegel?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
Resolution 222-2025 is duly adopted as amended. Okay,
Mr. President?
Mrs. Dishon.
At our last council meeting, when we were going into executive session, I had asked, and it was agreed to, because we've had individuals have approached me and have questioned why we have an executive session in the middle of a council meeting. By doing that, that means, you know, if the individuals want to stick around to hear what else is going to be happening after executive session, they're sitting there for who knows how long. So I had questioned, could we not, at the last meeting I questioned and it was agreed, and I'm asking again for this meeting, if we could not move the executive session to occur after the referrals.
I remember that. And unfortunately, because of not having a clerk, I didn't make this agenda. It got made by somebody else. So, is there any objection by unanimous consent to move the executive session to the part of the agenda after the referrals?
Yes, we've already talked about unanimous consent. We don't want that.
I've got a comment, though. One of the reasons, I don't know if it's a reason, but one of the things that we haven't been doing that we should be doing is when we exit executive session, we should be reporting, once we come back into session, whether any action is going to be taken that came out of the executive session. We also are supposed to be reporting that no action will be taken. So there are going to be times where action's taken, so putting it at the end of the meeting might not be in the best interest. And I think that's why it is where it is, because historically, when we exit the executive session, we're supposed to report whether we're going to have any action taken out of what happened back there or not. So I'm in favor of leaving it where it's at for that
I
purpose.
agree with Mr. Myers now. I do see where it would make sense to leave it where it's at, because if business needed to be done, when you come back, you still have the business portion of the meeting for new business.
Potentially, you could make referrals that would need to be listed, so on and so forth.
So I guess we'll just leave it there. So that's where we're at. We're at an executive session. It does state Ohio Revised Code 121.22G3. However, it could be made to whoever makes the motion wants to make it. And I would hope that they include in their motion of who's allowed into the executive session. And if it's lawsuit stuff, I recommend only the mayor and council and the law director. I don't recommend that the auditor and the service director go into those type of executive sessions.
May I ask a question?
Mr. Myers.
Who requested the executive session be placed on the agenda?
Yeah, it'd be me.
Would you please let us know whom you wish to have included or excluded based on your purpose
I would
for the
like
meeting?
city council, the mayor, the service safety director, and the auditor.
When you say city council, you would also like that to include the council president?
As he likes to point out, he's not a member of the legislative body.
Okay, so the 7 members of council, the mayor, and whom else?
The service safety director and the auditor.
I would like to make a motion to enter into executive session based on Ohio Revised Code 121.22G3 to include the 7 elected members of council, as well as the safety service director, the auditor, and the mayor, with the law director.
And you really are supposed to recite what...
Well, I'll rephrase. I move that we enter into executive session for conferences with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject to pending or imminent court action per Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G3 to include the 7 elected members of council, the mayor, the safety service director, the auditor, and the law director.
Mr. Myers has made a motion. Is there a second?
So moved.
Mr. Spiegel has made a second, or Mr. Spiegel seconded Mr. Myers' motion. We will now proceed to have a roll call vote.
Myers?
Yes.
Dishon?
Yes.
Slater?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
Sheriff is absent. Spiegel?
Yes.
Me?
Yes. Okay, this council is in executive session at 9:14 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Myers. Mr. Myers made the motion to come out of executive session, seconded by Mr. Spiegel. All in favor, roll call vote.
Myers?
Yes.
Dishon?
Yes.
Slater?
Yes.
Moritz? absent. Left early. Sherrick, absent. Spiegel?
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
We're out of executive session 10:09 PM.
Mr.
For the
President.
record, Mr. Moritz had to leave early. In the middle of the executive session, Mr. Moritz left, so he's no longer in the meeting. Mr. Myers.
I was going to make a note that Mr. Moritz had to leave to go to work, and also that the report from executive session is that there is no action that will be taken by council at this time based off of the executive session.
Old and unfinished business. Mrs. Dishon.
Kurt, have you made a decision yet on the Economic Development Committee chair?
I'm leaving it as it is for right now.
Okay, well then with that being said, per council rules of council, well, first off, before I say that, I just need to remind everyone that we do not have an economic chairperson. I currently serve as the vice chair. However, the chairperson also serves on the Bucyrus Tourism Advisory Council, the Community Improvement Corporation, CIC, and the Tax Incentive Review Council. In other words, the Economic Development Committee chair, that position automatically puts them on those different boards. So not only are we functioning without a chair, the city is not being represented on these three boards. So with that
As vice chair, you would automatically assume those appointments as vice chair in the absence of chair.
With that being said, per council, rules of council, section 111.12, entitled Committees and Commissions, Appointments, Terms, reads in part that standing committee and commission assignments shall be made by the president of council and shall be approved by a majority of council persons elected. I hereby make a motion for this meeting only to suspend the rules for section 111.12 of the council, rules of council, to provide that standing committee and commission assignments shall be made by any council person for the Economic Development Committee chair, Bucyrus Tourism Advisory Board, Community Improvement Corporation, CIC, and Tax Incentive Review Council, TIRC, for the remainder of the 2024-2025 council term. Do I hear a second?
Well, I asked, is there a second, not you?
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Mrs. Dishon has made a motion to suspend the rules pertaining to 111.21.
111.12.
111.12 pertaining to the committee assignments, so that council can make a motion to do an assignment. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Spiegel has seconded. Is there any discussion? Since this is for waiving of rules, we'll do a roll call vote.
Myers?
Yes.
Dishon?
Yes.
Slater?
Abstain?
No, you can vote on this.
I can.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will vote yes.
Is that a yes, Mrs. Slater?
Yes.
This is not here, Sherrick's not here, Spiegel?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
That would be 5 yes votes, so that does meet the 2/3. So there is a 2/3 having voted to suspend the rules. So the rule is suspend, or the 111.12 is suspended at this time.
Now I make a motion, or I hereby make a motion, appointing Clarissa Scheffler Slater to serve as the Economic Development Committee Chair, and as such chair, to serve on the Bucyrus Tourism Advisory Board, the Community Improvement Corporation, CIC, and the Tax Incentive Review Council, TIRC, for the remainder of the 2024-2025 council term.
I will say that.
Mr. Dishon made a motion, it was seconded by Mr. Spiegel to appoint Clarissa Slater to the remainder of this term to the Economic Development Committee as chair and the subsequent committees that fall within that being the Tax Incentive Review Committee, the CIC, was there another one?
Bucyrus Tourism Advisory.
And the Bucyrus
Board.
Tourism Advisory Board. All in favor, say aye.
You gonna do roll call?
Nah, we didn't do roll call when we put everybody on
Oh, okay.
to their committees the first
Okay.
time.
Abstain.
And I.
All opposed? That motion passes, so Mrs. Slater is now the chair of Economic Development. Is there any old business? Any more old business? No additional, no more old business, new and miscellaneous business. Well, we do have one thing on here. Does anybody have anything else before we go to that?
I got something I want to say.
Mr. Spiegel?
Okay, on August 9th and 10th at the Trillium Place is a card guard. It's the National Guard's having all kind of, you can do medical stuff out there and it's all free for everybody. They do dental exams, treatments, vision exams, prescription glasses, medical physicals for sports, physicals, medical checks, blood work, and some other stuff too. And it's all free out there. They're having it on Saturday and Sunday. So we're expecting a lot of people to be out in that area on that day on the 9th and 10th. So I just want to bring that up. We expect our Lions Club to get hit with one glasses. So we're being prepared to it also. So it's just something for the public to know about.
Okay, any additional new business? We're going to go on to what's on the agenda here.
Yes, so I received 2 emails today, and I'm sure these are emails that were received by, some of those emails might be received by the majority of council, but I don't want to be disparaging and addressing one and not the other, so I guess both will be how it is. So starting with the first one, I received an email from Mr. Here, and he asked me to convey this. So he states, "Hello, Mrs. Slater. I'm emailing to both inform and inquire about the status of certain city council Facebook posts having comments disabled, especially those pushing our council president's agenda. I feel like the council page is now being used to push our president's agenda and not that of the council at large. Feel free to use this email at council meeting to show that some of us who live in town are not exactly happy about how our council, quote, leader, unquote, has decided to handle his position. Signed, Tom Here." So that being said, I know it has been brought up before about how some comments are turned off and how some comments are turned on. And it has been expressed to me verbally that the concern is that it is a First Amendment issue that now all of a sudden the comments on the Facebook page are off.
Well, the mayor made the decision to shut all the comments off.
Of the live video, correct. But we're not talking about the city of Bucyrus page. We're talking about the Bucyrus City Council page, who has historically, and since it's been founded, had the comments turned on. And now the comments are off.
So if the city posts like a meeting notice, are the comments turned off?
It's not about the city's page. It is about the city council page. And the comments have been on. And therefore, I'd like to note, I believe individuals have been removed from administrative access who are on this council.
What's your point?
my point is that a concern is being brought up that our First Amendment right is being removed, and that they're concerned about why, and so I was asked to bring this up, and so that's what I'm doing.
I was under the impression that the mayor wanted all the Facebook comments off on all stuff.
No. It's the live feed. And again, we're not talking about the City of Bucyrus page, we're talking about Bucyrus City Council's page. The page is supposed to represent us at large as a whole.
Hey, if you want to talk about Facebook pages, let's talk about our law director that has a Facebook page called Bucyrus City Law Director. That's not an actual page, it's a Facebook profile. So, I mean, is he going to intend on turning that over to the next law director someday? Because it's got a lot of stuff on it that don't look kosher for a law director to be posting, okay?
So that's
So let's
what
go
the
down
classic-
that
that's what's called
subject right
classic-
now.
That is called a classic deflection. You are deflecting from the concern of the constituent. The constituent's concern is not about Mr. Gobrecht's page. It's about what is going on with the city council page as a whole, and the changes that have been made, and the tone that has been changed on that page. And the fact now their First Amendment right has been stripped, when historically it's always been there.
Kurt, you gonna turn them back on? Yes or no?
If you vote to turn them back on, we'll turn them back on. So if somebody wants to make a motion, we'll turn them back on.
We didn't vote to turn them off.
We didn't vote to turn it off, yeah.
It doesn't matter, make a decision, let's go home.
Yeah.
And I would like to say, like, I know this meeting has gone on for a long time, but so many times I've had to put off emails that I've received from constituents because of, pardon my French, bullshit that we have to deal with that doesn't matter. So I'm bringing it up.
Bullshit came in when you walked in the door the first
All right,
time.
That's enough of that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. My goodness, we've been here too long for this. Everybody's temper's a little running hot. Let's get over it.
Right, and I wasn't stating anyone specifically, I just stated as a general, but I'm glad that you decided to plan it out, that that's your opinion, so.
My opinion right now is if you need to resign.
So
I don't think it's appropriate to be staying in the council seat, present seat.
Nor with a pending lawsuit.
Mine's about 9:30.
What's the point of order called when I want to return to the agenda?
Yes.
Orders of the day.
I would like to request orders of the day, sir.
Okay, we're back to orders of the day. New and miscellaneous business, hiring of a council clerk.
So I believe what you're stating is you want to move on from that piece of, but we're still on the new and miscellaneous business. Would you like to address the Kurt at Wavelink as a city contractor asking for things to be done in city council? We all received that email. I'm trying to be fair. Since I addressed one email, I don't want to not address another one sent by a city contractor. Did we not all
Okay,
receive
you have the
this
floor,
email?
Mrs. Slater.
Would you like that to be addressed as a constituent or as a city contractor, however you're addressing
Well,
yourself?
if that's going to be addressed, then I should probably turn the gavel over to Mr. Myers.
Do we need to do a vote now for that?
We don't need a motion.
We're supposed to do it.
We're supposed to do that now.
This is so stupid. This motion.
We need a motion
I'll
for
hand
that.
it to Mr. Myers. I don't want the law director to touch it this time. 'Cause of
What, are you gonna rip it out of my hands again?
I was accused of something.
Okay, Mrs. Slater, you have the floor.
All right, so I'm asking Kurt Fankhauser Kurt@wavelink.com, so I don't know if you're addressing this as your contractor capacity or personal capacity, since the lines seem to keep blurring further. Would you like this email to be addressed?
Oh, you're asking me? I'm no comment this time.
Okay. Well,
I say defer to the email.
all right, well, I guess out of fairness, I should probably read it since I read the other one. Dear Law Director Gobrecht and Bucyrus City Council, I'm demanding that the Bucyrus City Council pass censure resolutions against Councilwoman Slater and Law Director Gobrecht for false and defamatory statements that have made against me in their official capacity for the city of Bucyrus. Censure has been used by council in the past to distance the city from statements, quote, distance the city from statements of council members, unquote. If council does not censure for these false statements as it has shown it is willing to do in the past practice, then this council is sending a message that it stands by these statements and therefore subjecting the city to additional liability and litigation. Also, I demand a censure resolution against Councilwoman Sherrick for the statements she made to me on September 19th, 2024 in the council clerk's office that clearly was creating a hostile work environment there where she told me and another council member to perform fellatio, quote, fellatio, unquote. Failure to act on this demand for censure resolution can and will most likely open the city up for additional litigation that I'm looking to file against the city and others. I am requesting that this censure resolution be full pass resolutions passed as an emergency or as 3 full readings due to the severity of the offenses. Sincerely, how did you sign it? Because it's heading Kurt Fankhauser. And that was sent from Wavelink, Kurt@wavelink.com, and was sent to all of council and the law director. So I did not want to be disparaging since I read one email. I thought I might have to read both, so.
Does anybody wish to take any action on that email? Hearing none.
I make a motion.
I don't think you can make a motion. You can make a statement if you'd like.
Oh, I was gonna put a motion out there that I move that council passes a censure motion on all them people for all them things I said in that email.
Council can't censure me, I'm not a part of council. And you can't make a motion.
No.
Mister, I'm not a part of the legislative body.
Anything else, Mr. Fankhauser?
I think Councilwoman Sherrick should resign for telling me to perform fellatio.
That was already addressed in the email, sir. Anything else that wasn't addressed in the email that you wish
We
to speak?
excuse the absence of whoever's not here.
We're not
there yet.
done.
All right, no action, nobody wishes to take any action. I need a motion to return the gavel to the president.
No.
There was never a motion to give away.
No, but I'm not going to give it back without a motion. All right, next item on the agenda is hiring of a council clerk. What we've done traditionally in the past is form an ad hoc committee. Is there anybody who wishes to serve on said committee?
I would like to serve on that committee.
I will also throw my name in there.
Mr. Myers?
Yes, sir.
May I suggest that the ad hoc committee for the council clerk include all the people that's on the ballot for November for council president? And the reason I say this is because Mr. Hickman was put on the ad hoc committee the last time there was a clerk hired, and he wasn't on council yet. Just for the fact that no matter who wins the election, they may be the ones that clerk is being supervised by.
But the difference is that Hickman had nobody running against him. So he was all.
Well, he had,
No. He did not.
Barb Alpert,
All right.
is right.
As a write-in.
So he stated his opinion. Anybody other than Clarissa and myself wish to serve on this?
Can I be on it?
If this body wants to vote to have you do that, sure. All right. So Clarissa, myself, and Mr. Me.
I'll entertain a motion to create the ad hoc committee for the hiring of a council clerk to include Clarissa Slater, Kevin
Myers, and James Me. I think,
That's a
I
quorum.
think because he requested it, you should probably vote no for procedure.
Or abstain.
I should vote no. Is that what you're
May I
saying?
make a suggestion?
No, he requested to be on it.
Okay.
And
May I
you
make-
said if the
Okay.
council wanted to vote on it,
I got
and
you.
then you
So-
didn't have the vote.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, ma'am.
Could we do each individual person's appointments individually?
I think it should be done as a group.
If we do it as a
To create
group,
the
then we
committee.
can't vote on it.
We always have in the past.
So past practice is that even if you're putting it to be on the ad hoc, that you can vote to be
The
on the
seated
ad hoc?
members create the committee, yes.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Gobrick's request was, state that again, please.
You said that, Mr. Fankhauser asked if he could be on it. You said if the council voted for him to be on it, and then there was no discussion about him
Okay.
that happening, and there was no vote, yes or no.
Okay. So would you like me to ask for a motion to include him, or just a vote of whether he
Just
wants?
a motion.
Is there a motion to include Mr. Fankhauser on the committee?
Nope.
Okay. Is there a motion to create the ad hoc committee with members Clarissa Slater, Kevin Myers, and James Me?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Spiegel, second by Ms. Slater. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. All right, that's been created. Mr. Moritz had to leave early for work, and
Oh, may I say one thing? It was
Oh, yes.
kind of briefly went over new miscellaneous business.
Oh, sorry.
I just wanted to, again, extend congratulations to John Dorsey for his appointment to police chief.
duly noted and agreed upon.
And I was wanting to do this before the meeting started, but I'll do it here at the end. And I'm sure I speak for the rest of council, wish to extend our sympathies to Councilman Meade
Yes.
for the passing of his mother.
Jim, I'm very sorry to hear it. I had no idea. Very sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Moritz had to leave early for work, and Mrs. Sherrick had sent a message earlier in the day that her flight was delayed, so she was unable to make it home in time. Would you guys prefer to do them separately or as a whole?
As a whole, I make a motion to accept both of them.
So Mr. Spiegel's made a motion to excuse Mr. Moritz and Ms. Sherrick.
Second.
And second by Mr. Me. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. They're excused. Referrals. I know we had the plating committee getting the State Route 19 paving. Was there anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Slater, second by Mr. Spiegel. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 10:32 PM.